We waited to bring this to you before we reached out to any other municipalities. But we do know all but one, Union County hasn't shared who that one was, is allowing Union County to manage their census. But one municipality is asking to manage their own data, but they haven't shared who that is because they're still trying to get everyone to come in together on that. But it's our goal, once this is established, Union County, and we'll reach out to each of the other municipalities in this same process to bring them in, and then each of those will branch out and include their subcommittees, which is what that is really called, is a subcommittee where you reach out and start working in the community with each municipality. And for us, we have, Pete has committed to serve with us on the communications committee, and Union County has committed their communications person also already to serve on the committee. So they will help more with those, professional outreaches, et cetera, and help us to put those campaigns together. Ours will be more to try to bring a point for resources and a point of being able to help share that voice, especially for smaller municipalities that can't reach out. But just so we understand that, of course, although this is a partnership and we're reaching out, for Monroe, for us, our focus is Monroe, is getting our count here, but we're going to share any resources that we have through advertisements, and part of the process with the federal government is to be able to have access to their resources, you have to be an official committee. So we're going to use some of their resources, and of course we're going to share them, and we are going to be able to go out to various events. So in answer to your question, certain groups and events will need the population that can best fit to go into those demographics, to be the presenters and so forth. And some of your smaller cities do not have the staff and the access, so we'll be helping them with that sense. But for me particularly, even though we'll be working with this in a larger picture, I'll be focused in on our groups, our homeless shelter, making sure that our children's homes are being counted, our foster care is being counted, that every place that has people that reside in them is getting a count.
How active a role will council play in helping to form the committee or selecting committee members, or what active role are you looking for from council?
Well, I just need the support of council. I need you to adopt the resolution so we can get out there. This is more of a working committee, so it's going to happen very quickly. So we have to be ready to roll with this for their timeline, which is going to happen in January. So it was very quick to be able to get the resolution passed. We're going to do this very quickly, and then groups have to get out there in December and start really canvassing in late November, December, pushing their groups about the census, because they are going to start doing this. Because we have to get up in January and be ready in March.
How long have we known that the census was going to occur in 2020?
Well, we joined up with the census. We knew last year we started the training, so we knew it was coming. But this was our first exposure to the census complete count committee. Happened through a workshop that occurred in about 2 months ago.
There's a couple of concerns about the way the steering committee is coming together. It's going to come together. Number one, we're being asked to adopt some resolutions so that basically you can have our blessing to go forward with this. As a Sept person for the county. And I have concerns, and it sounds like Ms. Anthony's got concerns. One of my other concerns is that municipalities such as Marshall, such as Wingate, such as Middle Spring, such as Waxhaw, have populations that people in those that have that elected officials in those areas can help reach, to help make sure that the county is truly represented. And I'm not hearing a way for those elected officials to have a voice in the steering committee. And the other concern that I have is that tells me that every person who can speak Spanish, even if they are from a native or Spanish-speaking area, does not have the trust of the population that they're trying to reach. So I'm not sure how that person is chosen. I'm not sure how the committee is going to reach out to other Spanish-speaking people that might help to relieve some of the fears of especially the Spanish-speaking population when they start allowing someone to put down the number that are in their household and maybe discussing other issues. I'm not sure what is going to be asked, and I'm not sure what kind of fiduciary responsibility this individual is going to have to the population that they're trying to count. So, I'm just concerned about that.
So we are coming for you to get the resolution adopted. That was your first exposure to it. And I see, which you can have any role you would like, but having public service announcements certainly would want to come from the legislative body down for those sort of things. Each municipality that you spoke of will have to adopt their own resolution, and all these things will be presented to them at that same point in time.
And who's going to present this information to those bodies?
Their staff will be doing that.
That way
And of course, Peter will be there also. Go ahead.
And sir, as a partnership specialist I'm responsible for Union County, Cabarrus, Rowan, and Stanley counties. So it's me reaching out to the other cities and towns to do the same thing that we're doing with you.
And by way of suggestion, I would be more comfortable if at least one council person was on this committee, because we're asking to make a resolution, which makes us really responsible for it. And it's so many gray areas, I would feel much more comfortable if at least one council member were appointed or volunteered for the committee.
Ms. Campbell, who appoints the committee? I hear you
It's not
talk.
an appointed committee, it's just, once you pass a resolution allowing us to form a committee, it's just going to be a working committee. We would put public announcements out, we would move very quickly with that, we'd be waiting on the other municipalities to get their resolutions in. We would not have any control over how the other municipalities administer it, but we would just be trying to stay within compliance with the Census Bureau and making sure we all say the same message, that the message isn't changed for.
I understand that, and that is crucial that everybody participates. It's really crucial for us as far as monies that may come to Monroe, but it's so unclear about the committee, who's going to be on it. It's very clear the method you're going to use to reach people, but what is very, very clear is the formation of the committee. Do they go through some kind of vetting? Do they get a background check? Because those numbers are important. They don't need to be questioned in any kind of way once they're formed. Just out of safety, something that we're back and we need to have some say-so in it, or actually be on the forefront so we know what's happening, I think.
Well, Peter, I want you to come, because we're not doing any data, he can explain a little more about the committee.
Teresa, would you not be the one in charge?
So when we were gonna meet together as a committee with Union County, with Union and so forth, we decide.
When you meet with Union County, you would represent the city of Monroe, is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct. But I'm gonna let Peter talk a little bit about, because this committee isn't gonna deal with data, so I'm gonna let him talk and answer some of your concerns.
The complete count committees we learned in 2010 that getting groups, the trusted voices of the community together to help get the message out and encourage the participation worked. That's why in 2020, we came back starting with states, coming down to counties, getting down to cities and so forth, to encourage people to form complete count committees. The committee can be formed of whoever they want. So it could be a bunch of churches that get together with a sole focus. It could be the local government, such as the Union County and all the cities within Union County. It can be made up of many different ways. Now, the whole idea is to look at two things. One, the low response rate areas, as well as those hard to count populations, or people that are hard, difficult to respond to. And look at where they are and who maybe reaches out to them, who deals with them, who's the trusted voice that they would listen to. And encourage those people to come together, participate. We give them some education on how to, what information to put out. For me, I like to talk about that $675 billion. To me, that plays a big part when they talk about school lunch program, Head Start, Pell Grants. Those are all things that a lot of people can deal with. So it's looking at those specific areas, finding out where those areas are in your city, and who are the trusted voices in there, and asking them to come together to help get the message out and encourage it. Is that
Well, in the
answer your
most
question?
part, well, you won't be doing that till August, will you? Because the rest of it's gonna be done either by mail, computer, or something. When you go face to face, it's not gonna be until August, is it?
Well, no. The enumerators are gonna start getting out in mid-May through the end of July. However, what you wanna start to do between now and January is figure out where those populations are, those hard to count populations, those low response rates, and then start identifying who the trusted voices are, how are we gonna get the message out. Come January through March of next year is when you wanna start to engage the population. And you wanna start talking to the constituents and talking to them about why it's important, how their participation in the census impacts things that affect their daily lives, the roads they travel on, the schools, having a fire station nearby, things that, like I said, affect their daily lives. So that come March, when they get that postcard, they say, oh, I remember at church they talked about it, or at the youth group, or wherever, and yes, I need to participate because now I understand why I need to participate. The Census Bureau did a survey and a study, and they showed the biggest barrier is people didn't trust the government, but the biggest motivator was once they understood how the census information is used and how it affects their daily lives, especially through that distribution of that $675 billion, they were very motivated. Almost 70% of the people were motivated to then respond. So that's where we want to do with this complete count committee. We will help educate people. We will help get them to understand why it's important for them to participate, and hopefully get a bigger response rate, which then in turn hopefully will prevent more or get more dollars for you guys.
Do you know how many people make up the committee?
No, so we want to keep it a manageable size. It depends on how many municipalities, if they all want their communications officers to serve. And so this is more, it's going to be more of an administrative committee, and there will be several committees that branch out. Each city will have their own personality, and they will be able to go out into those areas. We would not be telling them what they need to do. Peter will be instructing them on the processes and so forth. We'll just be coming together as one voice to make sure that we're using shared resources and that our count is sufficient. Because the county is doing the count, but we want to make sure that people are going to participate.
You say the county's doing the count. Nobody is doing the count. That comes from Peter and the Census Bureau.
Well, they do that, but what happens is the county actually manages the data. So all the addressing and so forth, each city submitted, and the county is going to be the main person. They submitted that stuff already into the state, and we made sure, like I spoke earlier, about making sure our new construction was going to be included. So that goes into the state, and then the state passes it on up, and they're going to be the managers of that data. So when the data comes in for the addressing, so they are managing the addressing of the data to make sure that everything's accurate. Then once it's complete for submission for the addresses, it'll come back to Monroe to have it reviewed for accuracy of the addressing, to make sure everything's included there. So for that part, yes, the county is managing the land parcels. So they're managing the outfit of the land data.
The way I understand it, in this committee, would be more of a PR, encouraging people when they get the
Yes.
card or internet, whatever, to complete it,
It would be more of facilitating,
yeah.
and that's really the purpose of it. And
Or if somebody asks a committee member to come to their house and help them complete it. What would the response
that
be?
would not be a role that we would be, able to do. That's why we need the agencies involved, so that people can deal with their own members in that sense, faith-based, or whether it was the Council of Aging, they will be dealing with their own populations. And we also have NC Works that has gotten involved, and just various people that, we actually did a presentation just to kind of let people know this was coming. We haven't, no one's committed to be a member of it because we haven't formed a committee. But just to make sure, we want to make sure that everyone will reach out to their own congregations, to their own agencies, and those are the trusted voices that Peter was speaking of. That we're getting the message to the agencies and to the neighborhood representative and to the community, and then they're getting to the population that they are better suited to interact with,
And you're asking us to approve a resolution, right?
to form the complete count.
I'll make that motion. We got it.
What's your motion? I heard you say something about a motion.
I'm making a motion, we approve her resolution to get our park started